This guy's insane takes are not done yet. Here he is trying to prove what a real landslide looks like and how Trump's wasn't that. Watch.
Bill Clinton's re-election was never in doubt in 1996. He won with 49.2% of the vote against Bob Dole's 40.7% of the vote and Ross Perot's 8.4% of the vote. Bill Clinton won by 9 points, and no one called that a landslide because it wasn't. The last landslide we had was Ronald Reagan's re-election in 1984, where he won 49 states in the Electoral College, with only the state of Minnesota voting for Walter Mondale, who was from Minnesota. Ronald Reagan beat Walter Mondale by 18 points. That's what a landslide looks like. There were two landslides before Reagan in the television age. Richard Nixon, in his re-election campaign in 1972, won 49 states with only Massachusetts voting against him. Nixon beat George McGovern by 23 points. But in both of those Republican landslides, Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan, the Democrats still easily controlled the House of Representatives. And as strong as Republicans, Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan, were in their presidential re-election campaigns, they couldn't come close to ever winning the House of Representatives for the Republicans.
I'm sorry, but did this guy just contradict himself or what? He said that Reagan and Nixon won by these huge margins, but weren't able to take the House of Representatives. But Trump winning the electoral and the popular vote and the House and the Senate isn't a landslide? I'm a sports guy. So to use a basketball analogy, what he's basically saying is, in his desperate attempt for some sort of moral victory, is just because we've seen teams beat other teams by 50 points, his team losing by 30 points technically isn't a blowout because we've seen bigger wins before. I mean, it's just coping. And these people were expected to win, as he said, while Donald Trump was not expected to win, if you let the liberal media tell you. So against all odds, against 2 impeachments, against false felonies by a weaponized justice system, against 2 assassination attempts, this guy won in big fashion the popular vote and took Congress. And you wouldn't call that a landslide? Again, this is not objective reporting. This is not unbiased media. This is partisan propaganda. And that's why their viewership is declining so much, because I think even their viewers are tired of hearing this nonsense. It was all good to hear all this slanderous rhetoric when you thought that you actually stood a chance of winning, and then to come to find out you were just completely wrong. So I bet their viewers are like, why would I even listen to these people anymore? Yeah, sure, it's fun to hear them call Donald Trump a fascist, but all the information that I'm getting is just purely wrong. And the reason that they're trying to say that it wasn't a landslide is because they want to have room to attack Trump's appointments. Because if they realize that the American people overwhelmingly voted for Trump and his agenda, then they would have to respect who Trump is putting in place, because he is trying to fulfill the promises that he made to Americans that they overwhelmingly voted for.